Welcome to this edition of Wiser Minutes. My name is Phrampus. I'm the director of the Winter Institute for Simulation, Education, and Research here at the University of Pittsburgh. Many of you know us as Wiser. My goal today is to provide an overview of the GAS model of debriefing and talk a little bit about its origin, how easy it is to use, and learn why it has become one of the most popular debriefing methods in the world. The original and actually formal name of the GAS model is Structured and Supported Model of Debriefing. It was designed in 2008 in a collaborative project between Wiser and the American Heart Association. The structured aspect of the model comes from the fact that it's divided up into 3 phases. Each has a goal to be accomplished when completing the debriefing. The supportive part refers to 2 things. One is that we're doing surveillance for psychological safety. We want to make sure our learners are as optimized as possible with regard to being ready to learn from the debriefing, as well as highly encourage utilization of the supporting materials, such as job aids, graphs, algorithms to assist in the debriefing process. That last part, the job aids and the algorithms and so on, is what we call the supporting materials. So without further ado, let's turn our attention to the model. GAS is the acronym for Gather, Analyze, Summarize. There are 3 phases associated with the debriefing model. Let's start with the G phase. G, or Gather, is the beginning of the debriefing. It's designed to get the conversation started, gather some information from the learners with regard to their perception of how the performance went, as well as to help through a series of sequence alignment questions to get the participants' recollection of the simulation aligned as best as possible in and amongst each other. You basically start off by asking the learners to state their recollection of what happened and try to get an objective account of what occurred during the simulation. We estimate or recommend that the G phase takes about 25% of the total debriefing time. Let's switch gears. Next is the A phase, which stands for Analyze. During the Analyze phase, the goal is to explore linkages between the cause and effect of the performance on the simulation as it relates to the outcome of the simulation. We try to align this phase with learning objectives for our given simulation. We are using the Analyze phase to explore if the learners are aware of how their interactions with the simulation affects or directs or changes the outcome of the simulation as a result of their actions. It is during this phase that we are working to ensure that the learners know what they did right and why it was right, as well as identify the items that can be improved upon for the next performance or encounter with a real patient. Again, there can be many things that can be discussed during any debriefing. We recommend aligning elements of the A phase directly to the overall learning objectives associated with the simulation. We recommend that the Analyze phase takes about 50% of the total debriefing time. Last but not least is the S phase, or Summarize. As you can well imagine, during the A phase, you might be covering lots of ground and lots of different areas and elements of the simulation within the debriefing. It's important to help wrap things up, help the learners prioritize the main takeaway points that you want the learners to focus on as they reflect on the simulation later on. Leading the learners through questioning and guiding their thought processes to identify central themes or the most important points that were uncovered during the simulation. I like to say we want to give them a package with a bow on it that has the amount of information and the content of information to carry forward that you want them to remember forever about their encounter with this simulation. We have a significant amount of learning materials to assist with learning the GAS model for debriefing, as well as job aids created to actually use during the debriefing. Well, I hope you found this Wiser Minutes useful, this brief overview of the GAS debriefing model, and hopefully it's inspired you to learn more about it. If you want to learn more about the GAS debriefing model or anything to do with simulation, please contact us here at Wiser. Until next time, happy simulating.